Guys, today I'm gonna do a part 2 of that ghost story that I started. If you watched that video, I don't know if you did, but if you did, this is like a part 2, but I'm going to talk about the first part too, because when I did that video it was 4 o'clock and I started freaking myself out maybe 2 minutes into the story. I don't think it was even that long, but yeah, I'm gonna do the first part and everything like that and talk about it. And so yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, we moved into the house about 6 or 7 years ago. Now I guess it was 8. But anyway, when we first moved in, nothing happened. We didn't think it was haunted. Well, my dad doesn't even think that, but I know. But when we first moved in, nothing really happened. Nothing happened until, I don't even remember. Actually, probably about a year ago, or the middle of last year, it happened. But the first thing that happened that made me think it was weird, I didn't think it was weird when it first happened, but thinking back on it, I was like, that's pretty weird. That shouldn't have happened. But anyway, I heard banging on my closet wall and scratching and everything, but I kind of thought that it was my dad downstairs doing something, cooking or something. I don't know. He's loud and he cooks late. But the next day I went downstairs and asked him what he was doing last night, and he wasn't even home. So the banging and scratching on my walls wasn't him or anybody else that could have been here at the time, which no one's really ever here. But anyway, that's not the point. Then the next thing was I was downstairs and I started seeing weird shadows. They weren't a figure of anything, they were just random shadows, when you're outside and on a sunny day and it starts to get dark where clouds are covering the sun and all that. Well, that would happen downstairs just randomly, and I would get cold randomly and get goosebumps when I wasn't even cold, or I would get cold for no apparent reason. And I thought that was pretty weird, but I didn't think much of it. I just thought it was this is weird. What is wrong with me today? And then, I don't even know if this is in order anymore, this part, but I remember what happened, just not when. So it might be all jumbled up, Then the next thing was I was downstairs again, and I was in the bathroom downstairs, and the way that that's set up, though, is, the living room and the kitchen and all that, and then after you go past the kitchen, there's a hall that's, splits this way. And there's a garage right here, the laundry room, the bathroom, and then my dad's room is, this way. But all you really need to know is the bathroom and then dad's room. But, okay, I was in the bathroom, and when I walked out, I saw this giant shadow going into my dad's room. And it was not my shadow. There was nothing that I had on or anything that could have made my shadow that shape. It was the shape of a man. A bald man. The way his body looked, he looked young, but, it could have been old. I think it was a young bald guy, but whatever. But I saw the huge shadow sprint into my dad's room as soon as I opened that door, and that freaked me out. So I just kind of ran to the chair and sat down. And almost every day when I'm sitting down there alone and texting, it feels like somebody's behind me. It sounds like I can hear their footsteps behind me, and every time I'm texting, it feels like somebody's just standing over my shoulder just looking at me all the time. Almost every day when I'm down there alone, it feels like somebody's behind me or walking around, and I hate that feeling, though. It's so freaky. But anyway, and then the next part, well, I don't know if it's the next part, but the next thing that happened was, this was the one and only time that somebody other than like a boyfriend or something has been home when something happened. But my dad was home, and we were both sitting downstairs watching TV, and I saw a light like on the wall. And okay, the wall, it has like a big TV and then a big elk and then another elk on each side of the TV. And we have a pretty high ceiling down there. It was pretty high. But anyway, I saw a light, like, a little bit lower than the elk, but right in between the elk and the TV. And I kept looking around, like, it looked like a light from, like, a watch or something. So I was looking around at everything and moving everything to see if it was shining. I kept looking behind me to see if, like, the kitchen light was doing it or something, but the kitchen light wasn't on. I kept moving my phone around. I told Dad to move his phone and his watch and plate and all that. Like, excuse me. Sorry. And nothing was moving. Like, that light was still just staying in that same spot. And I kept asking my dad if he saw it, and he didn't see it at all. And I was like, are you kidding me? How can you not see it? And then it started moving, like, up and down. Up and down. And I was like, Dad, are you just like, are you fucking with me, or can you really not see that? And he was like, I don't see anything. And, okay, like, side note, he watches Long Island Median, and, can't even think of her name anymore. Wow. I've watched it with him, and I can't think of her name. But anyway, he was like, Long Island Median chick, whatever her name is, I can't think of it right now. But blah, blah, blah says if you see a light, then it's somebody that you know. And I was like, I don't really know anyone dead that'd be here. You know, people from, like, Texas are not gonna fly down here and mess with us. And he was like, maybe it's my dad. And I was like, okay. And he was like, talk to it. And I was like, I don't want to talk to it. I don't want it to, like, move or do whatever I say. That's gonna freak me out. So he started talking to it, and he was like, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? And it stopped moving up and down. As soon as he said that, it just stopped. And I was like, Dad, it stopped moving. And he was like, if you can hear me move something, and it stayed still. And he was like, you talk to it. And so I asked it, I was like, like, if you can hear me move down, and move to the bottom of the TV. And I, like, at this point, I am, like, freaking out. I'm shaking a little bit. I'm just, like, freaking out. And I was like, if you can hear me move up. Moved up to the elk. And I was like, if you can hear me, no, that was backwards. I said it up first and then down, and it did it accordingly. And then it was at the bottom of the TV now. And I was like, if you can hear me, move up again. And it moved down more. And I was like, I said up, not down. And it shot to the ceiling, and it was gone after that. It was just gone. And I haven't seen it since. But that, like, freaked me out. And I was like, Dad, it's gone. It just, like, freaking rocketed to the ceiling, and it's gone now. And I was like, did you seriously not see that? Or I don't even know what's going on right now. That was so freaky. And then I just kind of carried on and watched TV. And I was so scared. And then, I'm trying to think. And a lot of nights, like, in between all those stories, I would hear banging or scratching on the walls, everything like that. And, but, I mean, it still freaks me out a little bit, but now I'm kind of used to it. I remember this one night I was kind of drunk, and I was in my room, and you know when people like walk on carpet, you can kind of hear it, just kind of like it sounds like it's squishing or something like that. Well, that night I kept hearing that on the carpet in my room, and I kept hearing like scratching on the walls, and I kept just like getting these sudden chills and everything. Like I would just get really cold really quick, and I was drunk, I didn't really know. And so I straight up, like, I just sat up in my bed and I was like, look, ghost, I am not in the mood for this, just stop. And something off my dresser fell. Like, I mean, I have a whole bunch of stuff up there, but I have one of those like really long lighters that you can like light candles with, and it kind of looks like a gun. Well, I have one of those, and it fell, and it made a really loud noise. Like, it's a lighter on carpet, and it made a really loud noise. And I just kind of like looked around my room, and I didn't notice that it had fell anyway, but it made a really loud bang, and I don't understand why. Like, to this day, I still don't really understand why it made such a loud bang. But, yeah. And then, I was here with my boyfriend, and we were in my brother's room because my bed is tiny and my TV doesn't work. But my brother's, you can watch TV, or you can watch like DVDs on his TV, and he has like this giant California king bed, and I freaking love it. But that's not the point. Okay. I was in there, and we were watching TV and everything, and okay, my brother's room like freaks me out, especially at night when I'm alone. But whenever somebody else is there, then it's perfectly fine and it doesn't bother me at all. But when I'm alone, it freaks me out. And we were back there, and the way my brother's room is set up is he has, okay, like there's a big part opening right here, and then his TV is right here. And then, okay, like here's the big opening, and then there's like walls right here, and then there's another big opening right here, and then his bathroom. And so like his bathroom and his bed are on the other side of the room now. But we were sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden that door slammed to his bathroom. It slammed shut. And me and Harry both, well, like Harry is his name. We both kind of jumped, and we looked at the bathroom door, and it was closed. And we both kind of got freaked out, but neither of us wanted to really get up and look. And he eventually did, but I mean, it was a little bit afterwards, so I mean, obviously nothing was there. I'm sorry, I thought my dad was calling for me, but he's not even here. It's probably a ghost saying my name. He knows my name now. Oh, and I know there's at least two. And they're both men, I think. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I missed a piece. I missed part of it that I actually remember the order. But anyway, I'll finish with this part. And then I'd never look at the bathroom door anyway, like when we're sitting there watching TV or something like that. But for some reason, he does a lot. And, like, I mean, a couple of times he keeps telling me that he sees, like, figures going past that door all the time. And, when cars pass our house, it leaves really weird, like, lights and shadows all over our house. But there was no car. Like, you can hear the cars from my brother's room easily. So there was no car, but there's, like, shadows that pass the bathroom door all the time. Apparently, like, again, I don't look at the bathroom door because it freaks me out. But he sees it a lot. And then I told him to shut up. I was like, shut up. I don't care. Shut up. I don't want to hear about these ghosts, okay? I don't want to hear. I want to go to sleep tonight. I never sleep. I don't go to sleep until, like, friggin' 7 p.m. the next day. Actually, like, 3 p.m. the next day. I don't sleep at night anymore. But anyway, that's not the point at all. Okay, but the part that I forgot to say, after I saw the giant shadow, like before the light and after the giant shadow, I was in my bathroom, and I had just got done taking a shower, and I was about to, like, get out of the bathroom to get dressed and all that, and I hear a little girl screaming, like, at the top of her lungs twice, like, right outside the bathroom door. And, like, it wasn't quiet at all. Like, she was screaming bloody murder. And it, like, the scream, you can kind of tell, like, if it's younger or an older girl. It sounded like a little, like, 7-year-old girl scream. And that freaked me out. Like, I stayed in my bathroom a little bit longer and dried off more. But, yeah. That freaked me out. And my dad was home at that time, and I texted him from the bathroom, and I was like, I have a really random question. Did you happen to hear a little girl screaming outside or something? Or are you watching a show where some little girl just screamed? And he was like, no. I was like, of course you would say no. Even if you did hear it, you probably wouldn't tell me. Okay. But then, okay, now we're pretty much caught up. And then just recently, me and my boyfriend were here, and he had been drinking. I didn't like what we had, so I just didn't. We had, like, freaking banana rum, and I don't even remember what else. We had banana rum, and it was nasty and really, really old. So I took a sip, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I feel like drinking tonight. But anyway, he got to feeling pretty good after a while. And, we kept seeing shadows and hearing, like, really loud bangs downstairs. And we were both, like, kind of freaking out. And then, like, we didn't even go to sleep that night. But in the morning, like, my dad wasn't home this night either. But we went down to the basement, and I decided not to go down the basement, because that basement freaks me out anyway. But he went down there with my phone, and he decided to video downstairs just in case, like, something happened. And, like, okay, a little side note again. Whenever he first came over, he noticed that, like, this house was weird, and he kept hearing and seeing things, but he didn't say anything to me because he didn't want to freak me out. And then I told him that I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that my house is haunted. And he was like, okay, I'm glad you said that, because I was seeing and hearing things, but I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to freak you out. And I was like, no, I know already. And, but anyway, okay, back to the basement with my phone. I had a video, but I might have deleted it. But if I didn't, I will show you. I'll gladly show you. But anyway, I was standing at the top of the stairs, and he was down in the basement, and he was talking to it, and he was like, if you can hear me, you might as well just come out, because I know you're here. Oh! What made us do that? Alright. Okay. When you open a door in my house, like, it beeps. Like, when you open the door, it goes beep, 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 beep. So, we heard that night. But we didn't really... I was like, it's probably just my dad. We didn't hear it close again, so we didn't hear the second beep, 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 beep thing. So, we didn't hear it close again, and we don't really understand why. And, so he went downstairs to my phone. Now we're caught up. And he started talking to it, and he was like, if you're here, then you might as well just come out, because I already know you're here. He, like, took it to the door, and he was like, here's a video. I know you came through this door, so you might as well just come out. Anyway, he was like, so if you are still here, then show yourself, because I know you're here. And when he was saying all this, and I was still at like the top of the stairs, when he was saying all this, I kept hearing like bangs and stuff in the kitchen. And okay, like there's the door to the basement, and then like behind me is the kitchen and all that. So I mean, he was right behind me. But I kept hearing like random pops and bangs and stuff from the kitchen. And you know, it was kind of freaking me out. And so I was like, Harry, can you please come back upstairs? He was like, no. And like at that point I was still getting pretty freaked out. And I went down the stairs halfway, and he came up there just telling me to come downstairs, and he was like, just let me do this, it'll help me out with this house a lot, but what I want him to do, then you're gonna have to do it with me, and you're gonna have to be brave. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to go back upstairs and go to bed. We can do this in the morning, please. I don't want to do this anymore. I am freaking out. And he had a video, and I refused to look at it, but it's not there anymore. And but he said that there was a whole bunch of shadows down there when he was talking to it. Like, there was a whole bunch, and they kept going in front of him and behind him. And he told me, like, the way he described it was, you know, on those cheesy scary movies where there's literally like little white ghosts going in front of you and they're going ooh. He said it was like that, but they were black and they weren't going ooh. They weren't booing, but they moved like that. And I refused to watch that video, but it's gone now. I'm kind of sad because I was going to show you and be like, yo, it really happened. My house is legit haunted. But yeah, that's basically it. I haven't heard or seen anything like too recently, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I left out. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I totally left out like the very, very first time, or after the banging on my wall. The next thing after that, like this was before the screaming and before the light and before the giant shadow, but it was like right after I heard the banging, like the next day. Okay, the next day, Dad was gone, and I was downstairs watching TV, and I heard footsteps upstairs, like legit footsteps upstairs, and they sounded like they were in my room going down the hall, and excuse me again. But anyway, and then, you know, I just kept like looking back, and I yelled out Dad. I was like, Dad, are you home? Did Bruce take your truck? And, you know, of course, no answer, because he really wasn't home. I was just kind of trying to like soothe myself and tell me that it's just him walking upstairs, changing the temperature upstairs. That's the only reason why he really goes upstairs. But yeah, anyway, I kept hearing walking upstairs, and it kept sounding like doors were opening and closing upstairs, not with the beep beeps, but just like opening and closing doors. And hold on a sec. And then all of a sudden, I hear a really loud bang outside. Like somebody just jumped out my window or something and landed on the little balcony porch thing outside. And I jumped immediately. And I was almost like out of the chair that I was sitting at, but I was so comfy and I didn't really want to worry about it. I was like, and I texted Dad because I didn't really want to call him, and asked him. And yeah, I totally lost my train of thought. Somebody texted me and it threw me off guard. But I texted Dad, and I was like, Dad, are you home? Is anyone else home? And he was like, no, I'm at Bruce's. And I was like, I don't really want to ask this, but can you come home? Because I'm hearing, like, footsteps upstairs. It sounded like somebody just, like, jumped out my window. I am, like, freaking out right now. And he came home and he looked everywhere in the house and he was like, there's no one here. And he was like, dang, I really wanted to shoot somebody. My dad trying to be funny. But whatever, that's not the point. And then the shadow, and then the screaming, and then the light, and then my brother's room, and then the basement, and all that. So, that is everything. And I'm sorry this video is so long. I just looked at the time, and it's like almost 30 minutes long. So if you actually watch this whole video, then kudos to you. But that is everything so far. Actually, everything. Like, for real this time. But, thank you for watching this video. I got a request from, hold on, I wrote her name down somewhere. A Mary Cruz Celeste, or Solis, and I'm really, really sorry if I totally butchered your name, which I probably did. But I told her I would give her a shout out for this video, and I will make it next, and it should be up tomorrow. And I have like a whole bunch of ideas of videos to do, so I should have a whole lot of videos up soon. So be sure to check those out, and if you have another idea for a video, then be sure to put it in the comments below. And also, I'm gonna do an Ask Kylie video, so get on my, I have a Twitter now, so go on my Twitter and ask me questions, and my Twitter name is twitter.com/Kylie_Ramsey18. Yeah, I forgot, that's pretty bad. But, and be sure to like me on, or follow me on Twitter, and add me on Facebook, and, you know, be sure to like this video and comment. And I still need an outro, so if you watch that the part 1 of this video, then I still need a cool outro, because my little peace out Girl Scout is kind of annoying me, and I really want a cool outro like everyone else. I just want a cool one. So if you have any ideas, then be sure to put that in the comments below as well, and I will try them out in videos, and I will give a shout out to you, and I will subscribe to you if I'm not already subscribed to you. So thank you for watching this video, and be sure, remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good junk. Tell me new videos to make, and tell me a cool outro, and be sure to watch my other videos, because they are awesome, and I'm putting a lot more up recently and in the future, so be sure to check those out, and I will link my Twitter and Facebook and all that jazz down below, so be sure to check all those out. And okay, love you guys, bye, peace out, Girl Scout.